Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As I was sitting down the other day trying to write out what kind of videos that I'm going to be posting soon, I got quite a few ideas, but this one stood out to me as something that I can do fairly quickly, but that has been asked for quite a bit. So it is the contents of my Salt New York palette. So I have used this a lot in tutorials and I've brought it out, but I haven't really talked about everything that's inside. So this is Salt New York. They make these awesome like wallet style palettes. This was actually sent to me by a very lovely subscriber. So thank you again. You know who you are. I absolutely love this. You open it up and it comes with a mirror inside and then you have the palette. So this is a magnetic palette. Very similar to the Z palettes and the Makeup Forevers and others that you see, but it's so sturdy and I love the fact that you can zip it up and it does have a magnetized closing, so it's very, very sturdy and I just feel confident traveling with this one more so than I do other magnetic palettes. So because I have shown this a lot in videos, I thought I would go ahead and show you what's in here because I did deliberate quite a while to decide what I was going to put in this palette because I want this to be a go-to palette if A, I don't know what I'm going to wear that day and I just want something quick and easy. B, I'm traveling and I want to make sure I have a wide array of colors, undertones, textures to play with so that I can get multiple looks with fewer products. And C, I just am type A like that and I wanted to make sure it was as perfect as it could be. So you see I have different size pans, different products. I've got some blushes, a powder, and some eyeshadows. So I'm just going to go through what I have, talk about why I picked it, swatch the colors for you, and that way you will know exactly what I have in my Salt New York palette. So it would have been, you know, smart if I would have actually used some of these products today, but indeed I just filmed a look for my other channel. So it's probably already up. I will link it in a card if you want to go see how I got this look, but it didn't entail any of these products. So can't show you how they look on the face specifically, but I have used them in videos before and the swatches will help you determine the actual color. So I believe I'm just going to swatch on my hand versus going all the way up my arm. To me, it's just easier than that. The first thing that we have up here in the corner is the Weiss powder. So this is nothing that I can swatch because it is translucent. I have used this in a video before. It's one of those ones that you can see just a little bit, but then once you blend it out, you know, it doesn't turn the face white or anything like that. This is a gorgeous, very finely milled organic powder that I find works over the majority of my foundations. So because A, it is in a pan like this, and because B, it works with so many of my foundations, it was a top pick for me to include as a powder. So this also works to set my concealer, so it's kind of a one and done when I travel. I have 3 blushes down here that I will now swatch for you. The first one is actually from a company called La Femme. It is a pro makeup artist company. You can get them on multiple sites, but I get mine off Camera Ready Cosmetics. And this color is Amber. It is a gorgeous mid-tone, neutral, a little bit of a pink, but it also can pull peach. So that's why I love it because it can go with so many different looks. So that is Amber from La Femme. The next one I have is from Sappho Cosmetics, Sappho New Paradigm, another organic company. And this is the color Emma's Blush. So this one is more of a pinky purpley undertone, so it's going to go better with cool tone looks, and it's also very pretty to wear as an eyeshadow. So that's Emma's Blush, and that is it swatched. So now I've got a neutral color and I have a cool tone color. And then finally I wanted something that would be more of a warm tone category, so I chose the color Natalie from Sappho, which is also a gorgeous eyeshadow color as well, but this one is a straight up peach blush, so it is going to be more suitable for my warm toned eye looks. So that right there is Natalie. So you've got Amber, you have Emma, and you have Natalie. So with these 3 blushes, can't speak, I not only have 3 additional eyeshadow colors that are great, but I have all the undertones that I could possibly want in a blush in this palette. So let's start from the kind of right hand side of the palette to the left. So these 3 colors right here, and if you notice, I don't want to blind you with a mirror, But what I did was I chose a mixture of warm tones, cool tones, and neutral tones, just like I did my blushes. But I also chose a mixture of textures. So it's matte, satin, and more of like a metallic shimmer. I also made sure to put in a very dark liner color, or if I was doing a super intense smoky eye, I could use this to define the outer V. I made sure to include a shimmery inner corner highlight, as well as brow bone. And I don't have a matte highlight in here because I typically don't use matte highlights. And I will just set my primer for my eyes, or the concealer that I use for my eyes, with a powder. So in that case, I would use the Weiss. So let's go ahead and start with some of the matte colors that I chose. All of these could be either crease colors, transition colors, or, you know, a definition of the crease, and they could even possibly define the outer V. This first one is called Fawn by Anastasia Beverly Hills. A gorgeous mid-tone brown crease color. And I know, y'all, I know I can't even speak about my self-tanner hands anymore because they are just a hot mess every time I do it. But that right there is Fawn. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a neutral brown. It's mid-tone, so it could be sheared out for a transition color, but it also can easily define an eye look beautifully. This is one of my favorite colors in the palette. I just used this in my pink, like, brunch eye look, and it's called Labyrinth from ColourPop, and it's a gorgeous crease color if you want something more of the cool toned variety. So that right there is Labyrinth. And this one is from ColourPop as well, and it's called Top Notch. Now I chose this because it's a very pretty crease color, more of the warm undertone, but it also is really pretty to define the outer V if I'm wanting to, you know, get a little bit more dramatic. So that's Top Notch. Very reminiscent of like Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek. It's got that really pretty terracotta warm undertone. So again, I have 3 undertones shown here with very different options that I can do with an eye just within 3 shades. So that's why I picked those. Okay, the next row are all going to be shimmer shades. So starting from the bottom color, these are all pretty cool toned. This is called High Strung from ColourPop. A lot of ColourPop shadows in here. I've talked about how I just don't think they get enough love. This one did, it kind of created a little bit of a hard pan. Wow, the mail is early today. But I can still get plenty of color payoff. So this is High Strung, a gorgeous rose gold shimmer color. The next one is Come and Get It, and this is the lid color that I used with Labyrinth in that weekend video, and this is almost like a little bit of a pink duochrome. So it has like a pink and purple shift, and on swatch it may not look that much different from the one underneath it, but once you kind of turn it, you can see it catches the light a little bit different, and they're different enough to me to both put in this palette. This one is called Take It Slow. So this could also be an inner corner and brow bone highlight, but it's a little bit more of a champagne color versus like a bright yellow gold like the one that I'm going to swatch in just a minute. So I like using this, maybe not as intense as I just swatched it, but as a very light wash of color on the eyelid to just brighten up the inner corner of an inner portion of your eye. So those are the 3 top shimmer shades. I do have 2 more to swatch, but those are the ones in that row. So starting from this 3rd row from the right, I have 1 shimmer, 2 mattes. So it's this row right here. So this middle color is Desert Sands. From Makeup Geek. I love this color. This is a very warm toned, very just blah, and almost has a yellow undertone to it. But there is nothing that looks better in the crease with a warm toned eye than something like this. So I had to make sure that I included that in this palette. This color is called Pocket Change, another one that I absolutely love from Makeup Geek. And this is if I want more of a bronzy eye, I will use Pocket Change on the lid. So that's it right there. A very bronze. It's a pretty neutral tone, but I feel like it looks the best with warm accent colors. So I will use it with this Desert Sands in the crease, and then I will put that really pretty terracotta color from ColourPop in the outer V, and I will have a perfect warm bronzy look. And then this one is my absolute favorite dark color to define, but also use as a liner. And this is the color Smoke from Anastasia. It's the one matte color that I actually have hit pan on in this palette, and shows you how much I love using it. So that is the color Smoke. And then because I have a little bit more room, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the last two eyeshadow colors that I have in the palette. This one is called Wedge from MAC. Very popular old school color, very neutral, and you probably aren't even going to be able to see, well, you could probably see the swatch, but can you see it above Smoke? It is very neutral in undertone, but again, it's a perfect crease color. This is probably the best transition color in the palette. This is the one that I can really build up to help make sure all the other colors blend out well and not go too overboard. So that's the best transition color in general in the palette. And then finally, we all know what Nylon looks like, but this is that intense inner corner yellowish highlight. So that's right there. So that spans the rest of the eyeshadows in the palette and finishes up my swatching and description of everything in my Salt New York palette. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, gave you a little insight to what I picked and why I picked it. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.